Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Nico and I am a full-time eBay reseller. So we got one thing fixed. We have fiber internet. So for those of you somewhere else, you're probably like, okay, we've had that for years. I don't know how new it is or how new the technology is. The only thing I know is so far just using it to just I haven't even listed anything yet, but I just did some web pages. I can tell just a noticeable small difference in it, which is great. And I guess what I had before was a 25 download speed and a 5 upload speed. I think that's what I was on because we were having some trouble and I couldn't, my pictures to my virtual assistant were taking forever to upload into a Google Doc, and then uploading these videos was just like a 5-hour project. And so that's why I called. I just thought I need the next package. And then they said, well, it's because you're not even on fiber. This has been available for a few months and now it's mandatory pretty much anyway. So my package, because I want the higher package in the fiber, is going to cost me $15 more per month. None of the modems or anything like that cost me anything. And supposedly now I will have 100 download speed and 25 upload speed. So if I really have 25 upload speed versus 5, or anywhere, even any improvement, even if it's not working at 100%, even if I get to 15 or 20 upload speed, that's going to make a huge difference in making videos and uploading photos to my VA. Of course, both of those are kind of passive things. Like I do other things. I don't stand here and wait for things to upload. So it hasn't technically affected my time as much. But on days like today, I'm going to make this shipping video. Then I'm going to make a whole video. It is like something I have to just have hanging over my head. And it does seem to slow down my other internet when I'm trying to upload a video and then I want to work, even if it's on a separate device or a separate laptop. So hopefully I will tell you, like I'm going to start this upload obviously as soon as I'm done, and then I will let you know if it seems like it's faster. I know that it could be, because when I'm in Denver, if I make a video, it just uploads like in an unbelievable rate compared to what I'm used to. So anyway, we got one thing done. I'm still cold. I still have 2 shirts on. I've got a heater behind me. I don't even know how cold it is. It's 35 degrees out. It's not bitter, but our house does kind of stay good, and we have no heat to put into the house, so it's kind of staying cold, I think. But we're good. We've got the space heaters. As long as you're kind of in the same room with the space heater, I'm good. So I don't know when that's going to be fixed. They haven't called today. I have no idea when that part's coming in. It's going to really warm up next week, so we'll get it hooked up just in time to test it and shut it down for the summer probably. All right, so today, I guess I should write this down. I'm getting ahead of myself. The workmen were here. Well, he came at 8 something, and it's 11:18 now, so 9, 10. So they have to hook in out back at the, I don't know, is it the telephone pole, I'm assuming. They have to hook in out there somehow and then do the new fiber up to your house, and so they had to drill in the back wall of the house. And so I do have my internet box in a different room than I've had it, but it's actually better. It's more out of the way. It's not where there's kind of traffic going. It's just way in the back bedroom on a dresser, so that's actually a big improvement too. If we have guests back there, that would be bad. I guess I'd have to go reset it maybe eventually, but I never have trouble really having to reset my internet that much. So let's see. I shipped on Sunday around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and that's when I had the 22 orders for $506.26. And then I did have listings. I've had a decent amount of listings consistently going up, but let's see, yesterday I think I had, maybe it was Sunday, I had 20. I'll have to look back at my notes. Yesterday, I'm not quite sure how many things I launched. I'd have to go look. It was a halfway decent amount, though. I had them scheduled out to launch on Monday. But I did not restart my coupon on time. I didn't restart my sales on time. I didn't do that till I got home last night. So technically this is going on almost 48 hours, and I only have 12 sales for $358.37. So that's from just not being as consistent yesterday. Plus I was sourcing for about 8 hours yesterday, and I kept trying to stop to send offers, and I definitely communicated with my buyers, but it's not the same as when I'm here, and if I'm working listing, I see things pop up, I see offers pop up. So, and plus I didn't ship yesterday, and I think that does hurt you when you have 10 orders sitting there and they're not getting shipped. You know, it doesn't hurt you in a horrible way where you should never take a trip. I still go on trips and I don't worry about it, but I do think it makes a difference over the volume that I'm used to. So anyway, today is, 12 items, $358.37. So let's get started so I can see if these upload good, if this video uploads better. So this is a pair of Soma pants. I just picked these up at the bins. I pick up pretty much anything Soma as long as I'm willing to take just kind of a, you know, $11 to $15. Now, if I had the top to this, or if it were a larger size, I think I would get more. But these did not sell using any promotions of any kind. So I sold these for $11 plus shipping, so $19.04 all in to the customer. Let's see, I'm going to have to set up my piece of tape there. All right, 8 ounces. So yeah, I'm getting a lot done. I've got 10 more items, I want to say, from my virtual assistant the other day. When I gave him those 60 items, he finished them right away. I just didn't get them all put away. So I am actually double checking them, launching them, and putting them away. And then I have 26 more items that are all photoed, and the measurements are here if they're pants. I don't write the measurements unless they're pants. And so I'm going to finish those 26 today, the 10 from the virtual assistant. I think I'm going to launch 25 of them at least today, and then I'm going to put the other 10 away for the end of May or the middle of May. I'm scheduling out as far as eBay will let me so that I can work my way back this way. And pretty soon it should work out. I've had it before where, you know, you have 21 days of full scheduled listings. So if anything comes up, you know, that's great. And they just launch every day. And then that same day you go ahead and work and you just put them at the far end or however you want to do it. But it just gives me some leeway for all these shopping trips I'm going to have to do. Sometimes at garage sales, I find huge amounts of amazing clothing, but sometimes I don't. And so I'm still going to have to go to the bins this summer and, you know, do that to get all the clothing I need. The consignment is going great. I just have one consignment store right now I'm working with, and they only take 25 items a week. And this week they aren't even letting you bring it. They're just so overwhelmed. But anyway, I have $200 in credit there, so I'm going probably tomorrow if I can get all of this done. And I'm going to shop just there, and it'll take me probably 3 to 4 hours, but I'll get all kinds of free inventory. Free as in I consign some things to them that I paid very little money for. So that's going amazingly well, and it is so good to have a lot of work. So the gal on the jewelry, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I was helping a friend list a bunch of jewelry from her parents' estate. And I wasn't going to really charge her anything, but she called me and she has more jewelry and she's insisting that I take a percentage, which is honestly really helpful. I'm really glad because it is out of my wheelhouse, and even though I'm loving it and I'm learning a lot, it's still just a lot of work. So now, you know I'm actually going to make money off of the jewelry, and what she's bringing me now to sell from where she's at. I don't want to say, but that seems like it's going to be even more expensive than the jewelry behind me. So yeah, I'm full of, I've got plenty of inventory now, guys. I complained all for like 4 months. You had to hear me complain about not literally having no inventory at all. Now I'm really getting to where I want to be. And I can tell in my sales that just the consistency is really helping. This is a Tommy Bahama shirt. I'm picking up pretty much any Tommy Bahama right now. That's just me. I know Tech, I don't know, well, Tech does know who I am because I'm on the group, but, yeah, I'm making it sound like I know Tech. He's a friend of mine. Nothing like that. But because I'm on the group, this is one of Tech's favorite shirts to sell, only because he can get it in Florida, not because there's really anything inherently that amazing about Tommy Bahama. But I find it a ton here. For being in Wyoming and Colorado, it's crazy how much Tommy Bahama I find. I don't know if it's because, you know, it's been winter and people just don't wear it here as much. Maybe I don't know why I'm finding it. But anyway, this shirt was really, this sold within overnight. It's a silk one. It's a Tommy Bahama silk. And I sold this for $17 plus shipping, so $25.71. And I know that certain patterns of the silk can go higher, and I have a couple of Tommy Bahamas I can't wait to, well, I already did my haul on them, so you saw them. One of them should be worth over $100. So I do try to look up my patterns on Tommy Bahama, but this was a medium. This is a men's size medium, so even though it's silk, you know, I just can't get too much on the mediums myself, unless it's one of those real rare prints. This is going to go for under $8, or under 8 ounces, I should say, not $8. It is going to go for under $8. So yeah, I've been picking up, that's not what I wanted to do. I've been picking up a lot of Tommy Bahama. So this is going to Midland, Texas. I used to live right near Midland. I have my history degree, which I don't use, from Odessa, Midland and Odessa, old oil field country there. I miss the weather there. I miss Odessa and Midland, but that's been 25 years ago, so I'm sure I have no idea what it's like now. But anyway, cool. I'm actually going to be using my history degree a little bit. I haven't gotten it started yet, but believe it or not, and I'll talk about this more, believe it or not, in our very small town here, the newspaper has been here since 1888. And my friend is now the editor there. And I went in the other day just to see her, and I had not been in there for years. And we got to talking, and it just kind of came up, you know, that none of the newspaper at all in town is digitized at all. It's just a very expensive thing to do. It's, you know, you can't just run a 125-year-old newspaper through like some kind of a scanner. You've got to have the right scanner. And then, you know, I can go take pictures of each page of the newspaper from back in 1888, or someone could. But then how do you piece it together like a normal newspaper? You know, it, like when you do microfiche, if you've ever done that of newspapers, you know, it flips almost like the next page of the newspaper. And that's how it's supposed to be, so people can get the feel of the newspaper. But anyway, long story short, after I left there, I just thought, you know, it would be so interesting to just at least video each issue of the paper, especially those very, very, very old ones. They're just irreplaceable. So anyway, her and I are gonna go ahead and get started on that project, and all I'm gonna do is, just like I'm standing here with you now, I'm gonna have to figure it out because I need to show the newspaper. People don't want to see me, they want to see, you know, the newspaper, and yet, you know, you got to flip it, and you've got to see it so you know what you're reading off. So somehow I'm going to get that coordinated with my friend as soon as I can, and we're just going to have a local YouTube channel for people to, you know, read the newspaper from 1888 with us. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't know how often I'll get it done. It'll be one a week, one every 2 weeks, but I know once I start that, like, I'm going to have to keep going, because there's a lot of people who just love the history of this area, and it really scares me if there was a fire or something at the newspaper. So I want to get started, and that's going to kind of get that out of my system, where I wish that sometimes I was a museum director, or I wish I had gone a different path. You know, I have a nursing degree and a history degree, and so I've had all these choices in my life, and this is really what I want to do. I love doing what we do here. I love reselling, but that'll just get kind of that little tiny bug out of my system of, you know, doing genealogy and doing history. So I'm really excited about that. This is a clearance item. This is really cute. I mean, this has a great colorway on it. Pearl snap, very, very cute. But it has some kind of problem. I don't think it's just ring around the collar. It's got some other damage. So anyway, I went ahead and just took an offer. I've had this for over a year, I want to say. Maybe not quite that long, but quite a while. And so I went ahead and just took $4.86 plus shipping, so $11.29. I just was not getting any interest in it. They did use my 16% off coupon, which is fine. I've got a lot of clearance going right now. So let's go see. This is 7 ounces. So yeah, I'm also going to do the research, and there is a person in town who has all those really fancy copiers and all of that, and he's the one who would know how can we get this newspaper onto microfiche, because I'm willing to once a week go down and just do one binder. You know, it's not the newspaper back then, especially, this is a very small town, it wasn't that big. It was probably, I don't know what, 10 pages each, and it only comes out once a week. So you know, if you do a whole year of newspapers, it'd be like 300 or 400 pages. And then now I think the newspaper has a lot more pages, so it would get harder and harder. But yeah, I want to do some more research on how to get that newspaper over to microfiche somehow, or at least, you know, upload it. But I thought if there's a video on YouTube of it, at least someone could at least see it. There's some digital track record of these newspapers. So yeah, I'm very happy about it. I didn't realize I was going to order some museum quality gloves, you know, to touch the newspapers. And because I just assumed, you know, when you watch those shows with art and everything, they all have their gloves on. And so I just assumed that that's what you did. But apparently, and I've researched it too, but my friend said, the one who is the editor of the newspaper, you know, she said that that's not how they do it anymore. You just wash your hands, you know, no soap or hardly anything like that, and no lotion for sure. And that is actually considered just as good as those gloves, because the gloves do have those little tiny fibers, and so I don't even have to have gloves. Which gloves would be better? My hands are, you know, I'll have to paint my fingernails and not turn people off with my hands, but I have working hands. I'm always, you know, moving stuff, sorting through clothes. I literally sorted through 2,000, maybe 3,000 pieces of clothing yesterday. I'm not kidding. And I have I have 3 grocery sacks and 2 kind of small trash bags full. I'm really happy with what I got, and certainly with what I paid, but man, I had to work hard. I think only 1 out of every 200 items I touched actually turned out to be very good. But that's okay. I got some sleepers. I got some sleeper stuff. These are good. This was a good sale. I've had these a while though. I've had these six or 7 months. These are called CQR. I might have just had them just a little bit too high a priced. They're vented, so you know they're vented, not convertible, but vented. And I finally got $16.01 plus shipping, so $23.83, and they did not use a coupon or anything on these, so that is good. And they're first class, which is great. So these are 13 ounces. These are going to Washburn, Illinois. And so it is still going to go over what I charged them, because at the time I just was charging $6 shipping, because that was before the last big postal increase. So I charged them $6. It's going to cost $6.22. So I'm losing a little bit on this shipping since it's going so far, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. So yeah, we went Sunday night, or we got there by Sunday night, and we went to this place called JJ's. It's just like a diner, but it's busy in there, and you know, or she has it decorated like a diner. I mean, it's not that old. Maybe it's been in the family a long time actually. And so my husband had meatloaf, and I just had fish and chips, which is just, you know, about the most fattening thing on the menu. You know, it's all fried, but it was good. It was worth it. I hadn't had that for a long time. So we had that, and then we went back there for breakfast the next morning. It was just close to the hotel, and it was, you know, just really convenient. So we went there and kind of overate again. I didn't order pancakes, which was hard for me because I love pancakes just dripping in syrup. But, you know, I knew that we'd already overeaten the night before. So I just had this like breakfast burrito. It was still probably way over the calories I needed, but it was really good. I've got a little bit left upstairs. And then my husband had some kind of a, I don't know, like egg skillet or something. It was really good. Then we went somewhere for lunch, which we were going to go to this Chinese restaurant, and we parked downtown, and so we had our dog there, and we didn't want to go move again, but that Chinese restaurant had closed for the day, or just at noon on that day, so we just walked down, and we went to this Mexican restaurant. And you know, my husband went to the restroom, and I Googled the reviews while we were already in the restaurant, which I should never do, because I'm not that nice of a person, but I'm just too nice to like walk into a restaurant and then get up and leave. I just was like, oh. But we read the reviews, and no one was getting sick or anything. It wasn't like that. It was just like very bland and very plain, which for Mexican food, that's not what you want, not what I want. And sure enough, it was. It was just like this burrito with nothing on it. No green chili, no sauce, no sour cream, no nothing. I mean, you know, definitely one of those businesses where something's going on, or they're just so, you know, tight for money that they're like eliminating things instead of going over the top or something. And so we ate it. Thankfully, we had split an entree anyway, and we weren't spending a lot. And you know, it wasn't, I mean, it didn't taste bad. It just was very, very plain. It's as if I just fried some hamburger on the stove with an onion and a little bit of salt and pepper and put it in a tortilla. And like literally that was it. My husband and I, after we left, were like, was there even cheese in that burrito? And I don't even think that there was cheese in the burrito, seriously. But we just didn't want to be rude. And the waitress was nice, you could tell, you know, so we tipped her anyway. It's not her fault. And then we just left. But oh my goodness, I'm like, how do we get ourselves into these things? You know, we're finally out of town, and we wanted to just eat someplace different. But it's okay. I still feel like we did the right thing. I mean, if anybody had said, you know, I felt sick afterwards, then I'm not so nice. I would have gotten up and left. But so anyway, so that was kind of a disappointment there. But then we had Subway for supper, which was good. We needed to have something semi-healthy. I had a veggie sub. And then now we're home. This is a Diane von Furstenberg dress. I get out of town a lot, so I shouldn't even complain. You know, those are first world problems. Some people literally eat rice and beans their entire life. So, you know, I really shouldn't complain. But, you know, when you're paying for food and you do eat out, you want it to be good, because you are overpaying for food. This was returned one time just for fit, not for anything being wrong with it. And so I did sell it more initially. And then when I got it back, I was just relisting it. And I happened to notice that there was just a tiny snag in the back. This is a wool silk dress. So it has a wool bottom and a silk top. I don't want to take it out because it'll just get, you know, hair on it. And I've got it all rolled out and packaged in here nice in a separate bag. So I want to keep it that way. But anyway, so I took $30 plus shipping, so $41.55, and they did not use any promotions. And that was with Reed in the title, and they knew that there was just a tiny snag in the silk. So this is going to Silver Springs, Maryland. So I still think that's a really good sale. This was a bins find from the bins. I cannot wait to get back to the bins. But thankfully, I have a lot of inventory, and then I also have my credit at that consignment place. So I'm going to have an easier week of sourcing, not because I want to, because I love the sourcing, but I'm going to just go see my family in the town where the consignment place is. I'm going to have supper with my mom, and then, you know, just kind of have a little bit more leisurely day where I can really shop for high-end stuff and not have to just be pressured to get inventory. And then I'll come home and really work hard over the weekend, because we have several events here in town that I need to be in town for. And then probably the following Monday I am going to have to hit the bins by then. Alright, let's see. This is a Torrid dress. Same thing. I've got it wrapped in a separate bag. I do that on expensive dresses or just certain kinds of fabric. And this is a Torrid dress. It's a women's size 18. It's a black lace illusion, and it's got tulle. It's got a lot of tulle, so it's a very flowy, wide dress. And this is brand new with tags. So it did sell with promoted listings, but I took $50 for it plus shipping, so $67.71. That's after tax and everything. I don't charge that much on shipping. This is going to Bellevue, Washington. Let me see how much this weighs. Yep. 1 pound, 15 ounces. So it's only going to be $8.22 by parcel. I'm going to see what it is by priority. $8.82. So I'm going to upgrade them, of course. And I charge them $11.50. So I will keep just a little bit on the shipping. I had been pretty much ignoring Torrid, but I am realizing that on the substantial pieces, it is worth picking up. And this is a size 18. This is not that large of a size. You know, Torrid goes up to what, at least 4. And so I'm really happy with this sale. I think that's a good sale. This is from, I'd have to look at the number now. I taped over the number. I think this is from the bins trip before the last one. I've had this probably 4 weeks, I want to say, if I'm thinking of the right one. Unlike this hat that I've had for 2 years, I think. I think I've had this hat for 2 years that we're about to finally get rid of. I'm so glad. I'm not paying attention, but I do think that even the loading of the pages right now while I'm shipping, I do think that I'm noticing just a decent difference. You know, some of the time when I was making my shipping videos, some of the time I was waiting for eBay to get back to the next screen, and not eBay, but my internet, you know. I've always known that it was a combination of my older computers, which this one is not old now that I'm working on. It's only a couple years old. But I always knew it was a combination of my older laptop, my internet, you know, just everything that was making my process slower. So I feel like $15 a month, I will make that up like each day. I will make $15 a month on, oh yeah, this is just so much faster. I can tell now. It's like really obvious, you know. I've just been living in slow-mo for so long. It's just like, whoa, that came right out. All right, this is, oh man, I have literally had this for probably 2 years. I went to a garage sale just right after COVID, or maybe even during COVID. I remember, you know, as it was, people were still wearing masks, but the garage sales were opening up. Because I vaguely remember getting this in a town about 20 miles away from me called Encampment. And I remember wearing masks at this garage sale, if I'm correct. And I got 2 big trash bags full of vintage hats and caps. And a lot of them did really well. I mean, I had several $50 and $100 ones in there. But then most of them were like this. They were, you know, $15 hats. But, and most of them still sold faster because I priced them right. And I just got a lot of money off those 2 trash bags. And if I remember correctly from 2 years ago, I think I got both trash bags for $10. But anyway, this is a rope hat. I know it's boxed. I boxed my hats because at the time I didn't know how much I was going to charge for this. But anyway, this is a vintage Imperial caps. That's the brand. And I have rope, strap back cap, Bear Creek uranium, and mining. So any mining hats or vintage Wyoming hats that have especially the rope on the front are worth some money and worth at least looking into. I do have flaw written in the title on this one. So this one must either have a broken bill or some kind of damage, and that's why it took longer. But I finally got the price right, so I sold it for $12.99 plus shipping, so $21.37. Finally out of here. 10 ounces, and this is going to San Antonio, Texas. Yeah, definitely people from all over the world like you know, construction caps. I'm sure a lot of you know this, but I mean, it's very tedious, and I have not learned enough about hats as far as like this kind of hat, like railroad hats or construction hats. I'm not that good at it. I'm not very good at knowing my sports teams either, but I do know that shark tooth, paint splatter, I have learned from just paying attention and doing a little bit of research on eBay, you know, that there are some 800, etc., thousands of dollars of baseball cap type things. And so my most expensive 2 hats in the last 2 years, this is just in the last 2 years because I'm not a hat seller, but I just walk by them, and because I have just, you know, enough knowledge to make me dangerous, I found a Pepsi hat, and I think it was script, and I can't remember if it had rope on it. This was like 2 years ago, but anyway, overnight I got $400 for that Pepsi hat. You know, you can just tell. It's almost like an old can of Pepsi. You would know right away that that's not a new can. And it's the same on this hat. I knew right away that it was old and that it wasn't a remake. Plus it was a quarter, so I didn't have to know. I literally just picked it up. I did not even research it at this estate sale. I just picked it up, and sure enough, I went back and I was right. So I got 400, something like that. Over 300. I think it was 400, but that's been 2 years, so don't quote me. And then my next one was a shark tooth, and I don't even remember the team, guys. I truly don't. I can't even tell you what the team was, but it was at a garage sale, and we went on a Saturday afternoon after everybody had been there. But I had just watched a video about hats, and I saw the shark tooth things, and I thought, okay, and it was like $2 I think I paid for this hat, and got it home, and I did not know it was worth $500 at the time, but literally within a week that thing sold too. So you know, don't venture too far out of your niche because it just gets to be really stressful, but make sure you have enough knowledge to be dangerous. You know, go up there like today. If you're just sitting here, you're waiting on your phone, and you're in the middle of Target and you have to wait in line, just scroll the hats and go highest to lowest and just get to know, so that if you're at a garage sale and you're walking by and you're actually staying in your niche, but there's this $500 hat there, that you can pick it up. I mean, and then it's like all or nothing. Like it's either I sell that $12 hat and a $500 hat, or nothing. I mean, I can't remember. It seems like I've had a couple $100 sales on hats in the last 3 to 4 years, but I can't really remember them. So I think it's just like all or nothing for me. I either know it and it's a home run, or just absolutely not worth a dime, and I have to sit with it for 2 years. So anyway, this is a Coldwater Creek jacket. It's an XL blazer, and I took lower on this. I've been trying to get between 15 and 20 on Coldwater Creek, but I've had this for about 2.5 months, something like that. And you know, it's a pretty heavy, even though it's rayon blend. It's still a pretty warm jacket that you would wear like in winter. It is an XL, so that's a good size. But anyway, I took $9.50 plus shipping, so $19.25. My husband and I stayed up too late. No matter which side of the political thing you're on, it doesn't even matter. But it is just interesting, you know, that Tucker Carlson and Don Lemon both either quit / get fired within hours of each other. It's just very interesting. So we stayed up too late, you know, just be like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting. We don't even watch the news. We don't even have CNN or Fox. So it doesn't affect our life. But it's just interesting to me, you know. So, just very interesting. My parents are older, so, and they're on opposite sides of the aisle. So, one is obsessed with CNN and the other is obsessed with Fox. So, so I'm sure that when I talk to them about it, it'll be very interesting discussions. So, this is going to Fremont, New Hampshire, and I'm going to keep about $1.40 on the shipping. So yeah, $9.50 is less than I want on this, but you know, it's just barely a pound. I could have actually shipped this at 16 ounces in first class, but I advertised it as priority, so I'm going to do that. But anyway, you know, not a bad sale, but I certainly, am trying to do Chico's, Talbots, and what is this one again? Is this Chico's? What did I say this was? Oh, I forgot what it is. But anyway, I'm trying to do those brands in bigger sizes, and I'm trying to get at least 15 bucks. Pretty easy shipping day today. I thought I had one thing for my son. I don't see that my husband pulled that, but I'll keep an eye out. Maybe it popped up after. Let's see, what is it? Oh, it's shoes. That's why. They are shoes, but they're in a bag. So they're the Vivo Barefoot. So anyway, these are a pair of Athleta pants. These are a size 4 women's. I do pick up a ton of Athleta, especially at the bins, because I can almost always get 8 to 10 bucks out of it, and it's very lightweight normally. This was a halfway decent sale. I've had this 2 months, I think, because probably it is a size 4. But these are the Trekkie North Jogger pants. That's what I found based on the style number. And so I finally took $12 plus shipping, so $19.54 all in. And these did sell via promoted listing. So we'll see if we keep any on the shipping. Yeah, I'm going to work really late tonight. Let's see, 9 ounces. So it's going to go over the 8. I'm going to work really late today. I'm glad to be back home. I loved sourcing yesterday. It's the funnest part of the job. But I am so excited about the stuff I have behind me. I really want to get it listed. This is going to Springfield, Missouri. And I'm going to keep, let's see, this is $4.88 to ship, and I charge $6.75. So I'm going to keep almost $2. Not quite. A little under $2, which isn't bad. Oh, I feel like I got to sneeze. So yeah, I had a lot of fun. I went to 2 thrift stores that I had not been to in like 3 years. And they're a private thrift. And everything goes to a mission. And there's 2 locations of this one thrift store. And I'd been in there once for a really short time a while back, years ago. And it might have been under different management. It might have, who knows. But it just seemed like everything worth buying was really, really, really marked up. And most of the problem is that I just don't have any reason to go that direction. It's 2.5 hours away, and it's normally as snowy or more snowy than where we live. So if the weather's bad, it's the worst option to go that direction. So I just don't go there that much. But then now I'm going twice in a month. My mom has a conference there, and I'm my mom's driver. I drive her anywhere like on the interstate. So I'm going to take her there. But I'm really excited now because I finally went and had time to check it out again and do it justice, like really go through like all the clothing. And there's a lot that they either don't care about or they miss. So I'm really happy with what I did yesterday. I'm so glad I went and checked it out again. All right, these are usually a pickup. Let me see. I will unwrap them because they're not going to get dirty or something. It's not that I've already wrapped something. It's that, I just don't want to get hair or anything on stuff I've already rollered off. It's just too much work. So anyway, these aren't even in the very best of condition. There is some wear to the tread. These are called Vivo Barefoot. And I don't know how to tell you that you'll know what they are, except I'm trying to show you the tag. It's not going to do any good. It's just too hard. But anyway, it's up in there, up under the tongue, as a lot of them are. So I don't know how to tell you to identify it. I guess, let me see here where we're at. Okay, if I really zoom in, can you see very faintly where it says Vivo Barefoot? I'm sure that it would, if it didn't have tread wear, it would be a lot easier to see. But anyway, these are considered what? Water shoes. Water shoes, men's size EU 43 or US 10, Ultra 3 Barefoot Minimalist is what my son's title was. And after I ship these, I will go back and print them off for him. So anyway, these sold via promoted. They did not sell using a coupon. So they sold for $35 plus shipping. So $45.34. Okay, 10 ounces. Let's see where these are going here. Yeah, I can't believe what a difference I think the internet makes. Wow. Like night and day, especially when you have an internet-based business. It's like the internet is your #1 tool. When I went in, I was willing to pay like $50 more a month. I knew I could do that on one listing, especially one listing a day where your internet's faster. So I just had not paid attention. I didn't know that I was not only like personally probably on the lower plan that I could have had, but I'm not even on the right like network now. They're getting rid of what I'm on, so it's like, what did I say these are? I'm talking too much, guys. Sorry. Nope, I'm right. I had it right. Okay, Baldwin Park, California. First class is $4.88, so I'm going to keep almost $2 on the shipping. And these are going to someone with vintage in their name, so maybe they're a reseller. I don't know, but it worked for us. I know my son didn't pay like more than $5 for these, so we'll split the difference and be on our way, and they can do whatever they want to do with them. Hopefully they fit. I don't know how comfortable those water shoes would be. Is that what people wear when they do the triathlons and they're in the water part 2? I don't know. Oopsie. Okay, this one is a sale for the gal I'm doing the jewelry on. I'm not selling much jewelry because I only had listed like 6 pieces, and I think this is number 4 to sell. I already paid her for 3 of them. And this is just an example of what her mother had. Let me make sure you're seeing this. And it is clearly marked. There's 2 earrings. She wore all clip earrings, which is a detriment actually when reselling. I think less people wear clip. I know you can convert them, so it doesn't technically matter, but isn't that gorgeous? I mean, I probably would wear, and you can see right here, let me see if I can do it with the camera, right there, look right there. If I get it close enough, you can see that there is a signature. I know you can't see it in the camera, but you can tell that that's where it's signed. And same on the 2 earrings. So beautiful set. On anything over $25, I had decided I would do it separate. Especially at the time, I didn't think I was going to charge her. And she said, here, just take this bag of jewelry, get me what you can. Like, and I told her, well, some of that's, you know, high end. And you know, she's like, just, you know, I can't deal with it, you know, because it's a those of you who've had a loss in your life, you know it's partly the emotions of it. It's not that she doesn't care. It's just, you know, she just wants out of it what she can. To sit and piece it out when it was your family's is harder. You know, it's easier for me being on the other side of this. So anyway, you know, so I was just going to do anything like over $20 separately, but a lot of what she has is easily $20 and $30. So this did not use any promotions. It sold for $38 plus shipping, so $44.75. And I Google Lensed everything first, and then I would look at the Poshmark listing and the eBay, look at 2 different sellers, make sure they knew what they were talking about. Then I would go to eBay and try to find it. And in almost every case, it wasn't that hard. And so I charged $38 for this plus shipping, so $44.75. And this is Sarah Coventry brooch clip earring set, signed, vintage gold colored filigree. So, yeah, pretty. I'm happy with myself for learning how to do it. Now, I am going to put this in something else. Hold on, guys. I didn't think about that. got the perfect box. I'm not gonna, even though it's clip, I'm still not gonna send that way. I'm gonna have to actually probably order a bunch of boxes even smaller than this, because I go to the dollar store and I get 99% of my boxes for things that my son and I sell, because they're about this size, maybe a little bigger, maybe a little smaller. But now that I'm doing jewelry, I mean, that's still going to float in there. There's still no reason to have it be there. I need some bubble wrap too, guys. Hold on, hold on. So yeah, I'm going to have to invest a little bit in the boxes. But from what she says, or from what, not just what she says, but what she called me about yesterday, the stuff I'm going to be able to, you know, deal with for her, just to even see it, is going to be really amazing. I've got two friends who know their jewelry better than I can, or better than I do, so I'm just going to get a little bit of advice on the stones. On these, there aren't really any stones that don't come up on eBay as listed. Like this one just said colored filigree, because you know, it's a marked piece, and so it's really easy to find out, okay, what are those stones? You can just look at the other 10 people, make sure that they know what they're doing based on their feedback, and then, you know, you can get pretty close to being right on that. But on unmarked pieces, I'm going to need some help. So I've got a lot of projects going this summer that I'm kind of excited about. If I let myself, you would never see me again. I would just be on the channel where I just flip through the 1888, the year 1888 newspapers and just sit there and just do that. So thankfully, I still need to resell and make a living too. I could get wrapped up in all this old jewelry. A lot of this is very vintage. That's what I was, you know, trying to say, is I just love the old stuff. This is 7 ounces going to Portland, Oregon. I charge them $6.75 and it's only going to cost $4.20. Are any of you out there like just vintage sellers? I know you can make your living on just doing vintage, and probably I would enjoy that more just based on the fact that I love that stuff. But to me, like vintage clothing, it just seems to take longer. Maybe if I knew what I was doing, I wouldn't feel that way. But that's why I usually just sell very common items. Everyday items I can easily look up on eBay. No fuss, no muss, you know, you're just like, that's what the tag says, that's what the style number says, and it's honestly just very easy. But you do see me pick up some vintage. There is especially some Y2K. I got a really nice pair of Y2K Doc Martens in there. So I guess I'm not horrible at it. I can spot especially the 80s and 90s stuff a little bit. I'm getting better at it. Right now, that's what you want to know. I mean, if you know your Y2K stuff, like if you can just walk right to it, I mean, I think you can make your whole living just right this minute, not forever, but just for this short time. That is such a trend that I think you could make your whole living just doing Y2K stuff. All right, this is, I talked about these on my haul. These aren't a bolo as far as money. Now, they do sell very, very fast, but these are just like boys or, you know, teen men, however you want to put it, shorts. And they always say lacrosse on here somewhere. I found shorts similar in this brand several times. So this says Bad Boys Lacrosse. The title of the shorts are Flow Society. So anyway, when they say lacrosse on them, these have pigs on them. I've had very similar ones before. They always sell right away. These were a men's medium, and they are pretty small, even with a stretch waist. And then I also have Reed in the title. So there's some kind of a flaw on these, and I still was able to sell them for $11 plus shipping, so $18.99. Let's see where this is going. Hopefully all of the shipping and getting this tracking. Hopefully this helps my sales today, plus restarting my coupon. Okay, these are going to Florida. 10 ounces. Unfortunately, guys, that is all the shipping I have for 48 hours. That is not good for 48 hours, but that's okay. I was sourcing. I think that was a great use of my time, and it was a very inexpensive trip because my husband was on a business trip, so he already was paying the expenses for all of that. So I had very few business expenses. I just paid the gas one way since, you know, I can deduct that from my business. So anyway, guys, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to see how fast this uploads. I'm really hoping for a faster upload speed. So let's see what happens with that. And then I'm going to run this to the mail. And I am going to get a little bit of lunch. And then I'm going to come back and do my haul video so we can see what I have in there. And I will let you go. You guys have a good day. Thank you for joining me, and thank you to my new subscribers. Please comment if you don't mind. It really does help the channel. Have a good day, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.